Good morning, everyone. We're just trying to get one of our monitors up so that I can see you guys in the south without having to turn around.
All those remotes should work the same.
So just bear with us for a minute and we'll get this computer back up. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this meeting. Welcome, everybody. This is the May 15th, 2025 Cannabis Compliance Board meeting. We'll go ahead and get a roll call if I could, please.
Vegas, you're muted.
Vice Chair Durrett.
Here.
Member Merritt.
Present.
Dr. Mazarana.
Present.
General Barry.
Present.
And Chair Guzman Freilich.
Present.
Everyone is here, Chair, and we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll now move on to the public comment part of this meeting. There'll be two public comment times before we start the official business of the meeting and then at the very end. So we'll begin with public comment in the south. We'll move to the north and then we'll also be online, and we've got some instructions for anyone who wishes to go online and provide any public comment.
To provide public comment via telephone, call 669-444-9171. Enter webinar ID 834-1052-2266, followed by passcode 821-925.
Thank you for that. We'll go ahead and go to the south. Any public comment in the south?
It does not appear that way, Chair.
Thank you. Any public comment in the north? We do have some folks up here. There's no public comment at this time. What about online?
If you wish to provide public comment, dial *9 to raise your hand if joining by phone, or click the raise hand icon if joining via Zoom. We have no online comment.
Thank you. We'll go on to item 2 of our agenda. This is a consent agenda. We've got 2 items under that item. And the board, if any board members wish to pull an item out, we can vote separately. Otherwise, I will take a motion to vote for both items in one fell swoop.
Member Mazarano makes a motion to approve the consent agenda item number 2.
Member Barry seconds.
We got a first and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next we'll go on to the consideration of approval for conditional license for a cannabis consumption lounge. We have two items under this agenda item, and Chief Gilbert, will you be providing a summary for us?
Chair Guzman-Frelick, it'll be Chief Staley.
Chief Staley, thank you.
Chair Guzman-Frelick, Vice Chair Durrett, Member Merritt, Dr. Mazarana, and General Barry. For the record, I'm David Staley, Division Chief of Investigations for the CCB. I'm here to present agenda item number 3, which consists of 2 requests for approval of a conditional license for an independent cannabis consumption lounge. One request concerns the first social equity applicant to appear before the board, and the other concerns a non-social equity applicant. If this board approves conditional licensure, the applicants will still need to complete necessary local approvals and a final inspection by the CCB's Inspection and Audit Division before they can open for business. Item A is a request for approval from Nevada Consumption Lounge LLC, or NCL, for a social equity independent consumption lounge under application number ACON A22-00107. This application is the first social equity application to appear before the board requesting conditional licensure. NCL owners Natanya Bennett and Jamela Brown plan to open a consumption lounge in Clark County, focusing on local customers while supporting local artisans and local businesses. NCL has submitted all information required to move forward to a conditional license status. No areas of concern were identified with this investigation. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Natanya Bennett and Jamela Brown are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman-Frelick, I'll turn this item back to you.
Great, thank you very much. Do we have Ms. Bennett and Ms. Brown down in Las Vegas? Are they appearing online?
No, ma'am, they're coming to the table now.
Oh, great, thank you. Thank you. Please identify yourselves and for the record. And I see that you have a presentation. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being there. I apologize that I am up here and not with the rest of the board. I do have a graduate from UNR graduating this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to that. But we also do have a crowd up here, so I'm happy to be here, period.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jamela Brown. I am co-owner of Nevada Consumption Lounge.
Hello, my name is Natanya Bennett, and good morning to the board.
Good morning.
I am the owner of Nevada Consumption Lounge.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
And congratulations. This is one big step for Nevada. Congratulations on your accomplishments. I look forward to seeing your presentation and hearing your presentation. And I understand this was the second round, correct? The first round you applied, but were not picked with our process, but the second time around you were. So happy that happened. And here you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I am the proud owner of Nevada Consumption Lounge. I am the owner of home care services where we provide services to the elderly and disabled. I am also an owner of a smoke shop. I am an owner of White Sheets, which we specialize in Airbnbs. And I also am the co-owner of Edible Arrangements, which is the fruit franchise. I am most excited. Most people say I'm a serial entrepreneur, but I am most excited about Nevada Consumption Lounge. I am very excited, one, because it gives the opportunity to consumers to have a safe place to consume, and they don't have to hide and find different places in Nevada. Me, myself, being a cannabis consumer, I visit Vegas, and often I like to go to the dispensaries, but I have nowhere to consume. I am mostly excited because our Nevada Consumption Lounge will specialize in different services, which we have visited different consumption lounges in Vegas, and ours will definitely stand out with live entertainment, We will also have appetizers. We will also have mocktails. We plan to also have celebrity guests and just the works for our consumers to have the best time while they are able to consume their cannabis.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Did you have a slide presentation for us?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome to go through it at any time. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
No problem. Our first mission is to create a hospitality-based consumption lounge that offers exceptional customer service, entertainment, and cannabis education in a safe, exclusive, and legal space with a focus on community empowerment and cultural engagement. If you go to the next slide. The main thing on this, the problem statement is, like I said before, consumers lack safe, comfortable, and legal spaces for cannabis consumption. And we can move to the next slide because that's the most important thing to me. Our solution, a luxurious, welcoming space for cannabis enthusiasts, on-site consumption of premium curated cannabis products, and emphasis on education, community building, and a premium experience. Next slide. Our business model, our revenue streams, we will have investors that will invest in our services, our consumption lounge, and we also have our funds available as well. Next slide. Unique value propositions, upscale ambiance featuring modern and design and premium amenities. Like I said before, we want to stand out from most consumption lounges with our luxurious place to come. We also would like to have entertainment, such things as that, to make our consumers very comfortable and in a safe environment. Next slide. Entertainment, this is the fun part. Las Vegas style entertainment, dancing, cannabis testings, cannabis friendly social events, live music, DJs, or immersive performance to elevate the experience, comedy nights, themed parties, holiday celebrations, celebrity guests, and appearances or meet and greets with industry leaders. So I'm really excited. This is my most excited development of my entrepreneurship. Nevada Consumption Lounge is I'm most excited about. Next slide. Can you bring it down a little bit?
Kind of stuck where it's at.
It's kind of stuck?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Here's what we offer a VIP lounge to make different consumers feel extra special. Here's what a VIP cannabis experience typically includes: a private upscale area with elegant decor, plush seating, and stylish lighting, personalized concierge service to cater to guest needs, curated testings of top-tier cannabis strands, concentrates, and infused products, and chef-prepared dishes with infused sauces, offering a fine dining experience with precise dosages. Non-infused gourmet options available for balance. We plan to have not only cannabis consumers, but we also would like to make the environment special, inviting to also people that don't consume. Next slide. I am going to go to
The private parties.
the private parties. So we want to be able to be exclusive to different private parties such as bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, because that's big in Vegas. If we need somebody to get married in our environment, we would definitely offer them to be able to be married. So different things that will stand out to the consumers. Next slide. Outdoor experience. Enjoy the cannabis in style and comfort outside, because Vegas is a place where it's a beautiful, beautiful weather, and some people may want to consume on our outdoor patio. Fresh air and nature enhance relaxation, unforgettable ambiance, blending comfort and cannabis culture. Outdoor consumption, no flower because of smell and no ventilation. Next slide. Okay, you can end here. And basically, again, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have many experiences with providing services that, such as business revenues, making those profits profitable, and in enough time, making sure that our employees are on their jobs. I also was specialized in running the kitchen, entertainment, providing the entertainment, booking the entertainment, and different things of that such. Jamela, what do you bring to the table?
Oh, so well.
Don't put her on the spot like that.
But my aspect of it, I am a serial entrepreneur as well by trade. I am a hairstylist. I've been a cosmetology instructor as well. So the education part of it is more of my focus, making sure that our employees are trained properly. We also want to do product knowledge with our consumers so that they are more educated on the different strains and what health issues they can help prevent. Also the marketing aspect of it, making sure that our name is out there, making sure that when people arrive in Las Vegas, they know that we are there and they want to come and enjoy a great experience in Nevada Consumption Lounge.
Yes. Any questions?
Ms. Brown, I understand you're going to be here or in Las Vegas. You'll be managing the day-to-day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions from the other board members?
Member Barry, first of all, congratulations for
Thank you.
all your work, and you see you have a history of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Where is it? Can you give an example or another location where this concept has been used, and how well has it been received based off of, because you're kind of going all out, so.
Yes.
There is none.
Yeah, there is none. We visited the consumption lounges here in Vegas. There's also one in Denver, Colorado. None of them will be like ours. You know, their environment is cool, the vibe is cool.
But there's no food.
There's no
So when
food,
you're
there's no
hungry.
entertainment. It was nothing that made me say, I want to go back here again, or I want to stay at this environment a little bit longer. I was bored, just to be honest. So
Yes.
we plan to bring that environment to where it's going to be exciting, an actual experience,
Yes.
and just have the consumers want to come back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Member Mazzarano, thank you for your affirmative presentation. Are you going to be staying here in Las Vegas also?
I am going to move here.
Okay, great.
Yes, I am.
And
Like I said, Nevada Consumption Lounge is one of my most exciting.
and do you have an idea where you're looking to put this beautiful lounge?
We do. Of course, we have to be in what is it? Unincorporated
Clark County.
Clark
yeah.
County. So we have
A location.
a location that we're looking at. It's turnkey ready. So there's nothing that we really have to do in this location. It has the VIP area, it has the big kitchen. It also has the seating, the tables. So it's basically turnkey, and it's beautiful.
It really
What's the
is.
address, Jamela?
It's 1395 East Tropicana.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions from board members? Any additional comments from the applicants?
We're just excited.
Yes,
We are excited for this opportunity.
yes.
And we're excited to see the finished product. So congratulations again. And with that, I'll bring it back to the board for deliberation and vote.
Member Barry? I move to approve agenda item 3, a conditional cannabis consumption lounge license for Nevada Consumption Lounge LLC.
Thank you.
Member Mazarana seconds that.
We got a first and a few seconds. So any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And a special thank you to David
David.
Bell, our suitability investigator. He worked diligently, very hard to get us to this point, and we really, really want to thank him.
Yes.
Yes.
We appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go on to item B.
Chair Guzman-Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I'm David Staley. Item B is a request for approval from the Limo Joint LLC for an independent consumption lounge under application number ACON-A22-00034. Limo Joint has submitted all information required to move to a conditional license status. Limo Joint and its owner, Andrew Januso, last appeared before this board at the December 2024 agenda, where multiple areas of concern were addressed concerning issues in Florida, hemp THC sales in Nevada, and an IRS warrant. The application was returned back to staff for additional review. After additional information was provided to CCB staff, most of the areas of concern were satisfactorily addressed. However, the sale of hemp products into Nevada with excessive THC remained an area of concern. Januso owned Trade Ready LLC, which operated a website selling Delta 8 and Delta 9 products in excess of 0.3% THC. After purchasing such product and having it delivered to Nevada, CCB staff sent Januso and Trade Ready a cease and desist letter on February 22nd, 2024. On April 1st, 2024, the company notified the CCB that it had ceased ordering and selling such products. In addition, during April of 2025, CCB staff discovered that Januso owned and controlled websites were selling Amanita muscaria mushroom gummies and other products, despite a December 2024 U.S. Food and Drug Administration ban on the use of Amanita muscaria in food products. On April 11th, 2025, after a request from CCB staff to explain such sales, Januso responded indicating that Amanita muscaria products had been removed from his websites, and if the board approved his application for an independent consumption lounge, he would sell the website and related businesses within 60 days. Staff's concerns are compounded because Januso has funded pursuit of his proposed independent consumption lounge through revenue generated by the website operations selling hemp THC and Amanita muscaria products. Based on his previous and current business practices, there may be questions as to whether he meets the suitability standards contained in NRS 678B-200, paragraph 2. His current business practices are in question because he continued to sell hemp products in excess of the THC legal limit and Amanita muscaria products despite prohibitions put in place by the Nevada legislature and the FDA. His response has been to make changes after CCB agents found him selling the hemp products and products deemed by the FDA to be unsafe. Additionally, the sale of such products poses a threat to the health and safety of Nevada residents. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Amanda Conner and Andrew Januso are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman-Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you, Chief Staley. Welcome. If you could please put your name on the record, and if you have an affirmative presentation, this would be the time. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Guzman-Freilich, Amanda Conner for the record. With me today is Andrew Januso and the additional members of the Limo Joint LLC. Jacqueline Ibarra and Isabel Ibarra. Al Mastro is also a member, but he is not here today. Thanks to Chief Staley for reviewing the report. I do want to point out that we appreciate the time and effort of staff when it was sent back to staff. As Chief Staley indicated, several of the areas of concern were resolved after sending it back. We appreciate that opportunity. We do understand that there are concerns related to the hemp business. I don't believe, unless I missed it, Chief Staley indicated in his report, but you should have the information that he got out of that business in 2024, has not been involved in it for that period since that time. We do understand that there are concerns, but he has promptly responded to staff's requests and inquiries. He has a desire to operate a compliant business. We've, we can answer questions about the mushrooms or those types of things, but he is stepping into an industry instead of where there's not clear outlined regulations. This industry does. The Cannabis Compliance Board clearly set forth the rules. He wants to and has put forth 2 years of effort to try and go through this suitability process, as him and the other members do want to enter into this industry, and they all have a desire to run a compliant business within this clear outlined regulations. We are available for any questions you may have. We do want you to consider that today is granting a conditional license. He does have to, and all the members have to then meet all the conditions that would have to go forward. The Cannabis Board would have oversight and authority over him and can place conditions on those licenses. But with that, we'll turn it over for questions that you may have.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome, Mr. Januso. Welcome back. As you heard, staff has a lot of concerns. As I'm not sure what the other board members are thinking, but I'll just speak for myself. I also have a lot of concerns. I understand that you no longer have the business with regard to cannabis. I also saw that your websites that were offering the Amanita muscaria mushroom products are down. They're not live. And I'm glad that you're back here so we can ask questions and we can hash this out, because this board to date has not found any applicant unsuitable. And I would hate for you to become that first individual to be in the cannabis book of unsuitability. So I think that if we can just be frank and transparent, and this is why we have these hearings, we can, just make sure that everybody is clear and that we know if we go forward what it is that we are approving or not approving. Because you do have a pattern of prior business practices where you may tend to push the envelope in the gray areas, the legal gray areas. But as your learned counsel said here today, that cannabis is highly regulated, and you have been granted this license that is very coveted, one of only 10 licenses in the state. And so we want to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. So with that, I will open it up to the board for any questions that they might have. And I appreciate your candidness. Any questions from board members?
Member Barry, I'll start it off. Thanks for coming in for the second time today. And I think the chair said it extremely well. There's just a pattern of practice of constant not following the rules or pushing the envelope, or constant corrections, or constantly having to come back. And always believe sometimes that the best predictor of the future is the past. So and I believe we have a huge responsibility in these roles to do what's in the best interest of not just the state, but also our citizens. So I guess I'm concerned that what will change based off of the fact that you have continuously demonstrated that you will push the envelope or not follow the rules, or to me, it seems like you try to negotiate or manipulate a little bit with the process. And once you get to a point that you'll do whatever it takes to get this approved. So what would convince us that that will stop this pattern and practice of misconduct?
Andrew Janusa for the record. Member Berry, I think really the big thing is that there will be clear regulation and rules with regards to operating a compliant cannabis consumption lounge. When you look at the history of the businesses I've owned, although I have carried privileged licenses in unincorporated Clark County, City of Las Vegas, as well as general business licenses in Nye County and City of Sparks, for a variety of different businesses, marijuana related and not. Hemp was a new frontier back in 2017. No one really knew, what to do. And that business was actually sold in 2022. So it's been a couple years. With regards to the mushrooms, Amanita muscaria mushrooms are foraged out in the wild in Europe. They're actually imported, so they have to pass customs. A lot of this stuff, is something that we thought was right as far as legal to sell. So it wasn't until that FDA memo, which I was only made aware of by Investigator Staley, that you could not put Amanita into food products.
And if I could add, Amanda Connor for the record, I do want to point out, and I don't know if the report covered it, he has been involved in a lot of businesses, right? He is a entrepreneur. In fact, the way he got into the marijuana industry originally was ran a training company that taught the agents all the rules and regulations when it was medical marijuana. And his training company was very well respected in the industry as making sure the agents understood the rules and knew how to operate and run within compliance for them. While there are concerns about some of his businesses, he's operated, like he mentioned, he has other licenses. He's operated other businesses that didn't have compliance concerns. So I do understand there's concerns, but I wouldn't say it's with every business that he's run that there's such concerns. And in those where there's clear regulations, I would argue he's followed within those.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Member Berry again, or I asked staff, is there any expectations or requirements or corrections that have not been done up till now, knowing that as recently as, I guess, just recently the website was shut down? So is there anything still pending that we are not satisfied with the actions taken?
David Staley for the record. No, sir. Upon notice, they have taken corrective action.
Thank you.
Member Mazzarana, I'm curious, one of the things you had stated was that if you got a conditional license, then you would sell the websites that are selling the mushrooms. What happens if you don't get the license?
Well, I think, Andrew Newsom for the record, Member Mazzarana. As far as a life choice decision, I am still looking at that. Possibly there are two interested buyers for the mushroom business. Obviously, it'd be nice to have something to look forward to as far as selling this business to then pursue a new venture full time. But it still is something that I am considering.
Even though the sale of those mushrooms is questionable?
Amanda Connor for the record, I do want to clarify and don't think we have time to go through all the legality of the mushrooms. The FDA memo was specifically with regards to Amanita muscaria in food products. It did not touch on Amanita muscaria in in non-food products. And there are other mushroom types. He removed, in an abundance of caution, all Amanita muscaria, but there are other mushrooms as well that are legal and compliant to sell.
understand.
And the FDA memo was specifically with regards to it in food products. Even Amanita muscaria in other instances can be sold. We were talking, there are, celebrities, big companies that are in the mushroom business. I think it's a misnomer to say they're illegal completely across the board.
Thanks for the clarification.
Any additional questions from the board members?
Member Drat, I have a question. The hemp business that had psychoactive above the federal limits for psychoactive components, did you sell? Was that shut down and sold in 2022 or 2024?
Yeah, so the, Andrew Januso for the record, Vice Chair Durrett. The original business I sold was CBD Hemp Direct in 2022. And then from there, we had a small amount of hemp-derived products actually on one of the first Amanita mushroom websites. And so that website is where Investigator Staley had purchased some of the products. They tested multiple products. It happened to be one gummy that tested at 0.33 THC, so slightly above the legal level. And so when we were sent the cease and desist, that is when we removed all those products.
Thanks. And one other question. What would happen if you were, if we approved a conditional license and you were with I'm sure I could imagine there would be conditions on it, but if that happened and then the consumption lounge, if it performed the way other consumption lounges have, which is not successfully, would you go back to potential selling, products that violate either state law or regulation?
Just for the record, Vice Chair Durrett, I think the consumption lounge business, of course, is uncharted territory. If you look at some of the most recent news and stuff, they don't look like the most successful ventures. Luckily, most of my previous ventures have been very successful. So I'm, looking at this as a chance to, potentially see this as a longer term opportunity and really go all in, and just looking for an opportunity to open a lounge where I can follow all the rules, regulations set forth in the NRS. And yeah.
But I think we would need to have a comfort level, at least I would, a comfort level that if it wasn't successful, that you're not dependent on it being successful, and that and that you wouldn't feel the need to go back to selling the products that sometimes violate NRS, but in some instances, but also products that are just not in line with the spirit of the regulatory framework. So, products that may violate or may not be consistent with FDA guidance. So I just want to make sure that there's like an understanding that as a conditional licensee, you would not be involved in any of those businesses going forward.
Andrew Januso for the record, Vice Chair Durrett, correct. I'm in understanding of that.
Does that answer your question, Member Durrett?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Any additional questions? Any additional comments from Mr. Januso?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Ms. Connor, any additional comments, closing comments, follow up?
Yeah, Amanda Connor for the record. I would just like to reiterate that, all the members of the Limo Joint have looked forward to this opportunity. We understand that there are concerns, but we have the position that with conditions placed on the licenses, those concerns could be addressed. And we kindly ask the board, give him a chance and give all the members of the Limo Joint a chance to move forward with this conditional license to meet the conditions the board feels appropriate to work towards opening and operating a consumption lounge.
Member Mazzarano would like to ask our board, what kind of conditions could we put on that license to feel comfortable moving forward?
If Miss, this is for staff, could we hold that thought or that response until we bring it back for deliberation, and then that way we can decide after hearing the staff's response. But for now, if we could just close up with any of the presentation or any additional comments. And then we'll just bring it to the board, and that way we can deliberate and ask any questions of staff. So are there any additional comments to close this up? Any additional comments from the applicant, Ms. Connor, or even from the additional members? Do they have any comments or anything that they want to put on the record before I bring it back to the board for our deliberation?
Amanda Connor, for the record, they don't have any specific comments except therefore they are hopeful to have the opportunity to operate the lounge.
Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and bring it to the board for our deliberation. And Dr. Mazzarana, if you want to go ahead and ask staff any concerns or questions that you might have, that they have answers for us, and then we can begin to deliberate and come to some conclusion.
And Member Mazzarana would like to ask our board, what kind of conditions could we put on this license, be that it's a conditional license to begin with?
James Hum, for the record, I was actually going to check with legal, Mr. Rath.
I mean, I think obviously if you approve the license, they've got to follow the law. So that's not necessarily a condition.
Right.
So I think it's pretty much either approve or deny. I mean, I don't know what kind of conditions you could put on a conditional license per the regulations of the statute.
For clarification to Mr. Rath, I believe Ms. Connor mentioned it as well. They still will have to go through the final license process.
To have final inspection. And
to go through that entire process too for final license.
Obviously, they have to comply with the statutes and regulations or they would be disciplined.
Yeah. And just a reminder, as we kind of do this with our incredible audit inspection, enforcement and investigations team, there's no gray here. Our regulations are pretty well defined and you have to operate within those parameters. These are still privileged licenses. So as they, once they're under our purview, we look at these and really scrutinize these every year.
Thank you.
Member Barry, question?
Absolutely.
So from the time of, if we would approve the conditional to the time that they would come back, approximately how long is that from the standpoint of if there were any other violations, not tied into conditions, but if there were any other violations, we would have a chance to hear those?
Absolutely. James Hunt, for the record. So also we kind of try to make ourselves at our disposal for the licensee. So at that point, it would be up to the licensee. And then that's more of a back and forth process. So as they go through, then we look at ourselves more almost as consultants, as our chief of health and safety likes to say. So at that point, it's scrutiny, but in a positive manner, in trying to get them, since they've already received a conditional, to try to lay out what is required to get that final licensure. So at that point, we know the board has indicated they want to move forward with the license. We work very closely with the applicant, as Chief Staley does from the start with the background investigation. And then at that point, Chief Cronkite's team will move forward with them to make sure that they are compliant, so that we kind of can alert the board as well as the potential licensee that we're ready to go, and then that we're going to start off on the right foot, if you will.
And General Barry, David Staley, for the record, much of it will be dependent on the applicant's ability to secure a location and get it ready for the review. If Mr. Januso is unable, or Limo Joint is unable to find like a suitable location, or it's all dependent on finding the location, preparing the location for review by our audit and inspections group. It could be very quick. It could take years.
They have 12 months to get operational, but they can ask for an extension of those 12 months, as I think most board members know that.
Member Barry, have you identified a location and you plan on expediting and moving forward if approved?
Amanda Connor, for the record, they had identified and secured a location initially. Unfortunately, due to the length of time for the investigation, that location is no longer available, but they've been actively looking and have identified potential locations that they could move forward with if approved for the conditional license.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Any comments, concerns before we move to a vote?
Member Grant, I have a question. So this is the suitability check. Is there some kind of, will there be like a sweep of compliance to get the final license? So would staff look at whether they're in compliance with well, I'm sure you look at like local code, local government, all that. But would you do like a sweep of his businesses again before the final license? Or is this the opportunity to do that? Because if this is the opportunity to do that, maybe that could be one of the conditions, just doing a very, not a deep dive, because I wouldn't want to take a lot of time, but doing like a sweep just to make sure, double check that these other businesses haven't been reactivated if it's a year or 2 years from now.
Vice Chair Durrett, David Staley for the record. Typically with the consumption lounges, the additional review is not part of the process. However, at the board's direction, we can certainly do that for you.
Okay, thank you. I'm okay either way, but that's a possible condition if the board is interested, just to do another check of that before final licensure, or maybe a year after final licensure. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Any additional questions, concerns, comments? Okay. I just have a final comment. Mr. Januso, you have a lot of people that are counting on you. And that's the part for me that wants to give you a chance, because you do have other people that are counting on you for this license. When Vice Chair Durrett asked you the questions about whether or not, if you did not get this license, would you then continue to do some of the practices? I guess it's just me, because I think differently, and it may have been what you were thinking, but maybe it didn't come through that way. But I would have liked to have heard you say, of course, I'm going to continue with businesses that are legal, that are that abide by the rules, that of course I'm going to do that if I don't get this license. But what I heard is, I understand what you're saying, Chair Durrett, but I'm just hopeful that I get this license. So I'm going to give you another chance to tell me that if you don't get this license, what does your future look like? What kinds of businesses are you going to be involved in? Because, and I'll tell you, because part of our approval process is to look at a person's good character, honesty and integrity. And then our highest concern is the public health and safety of the citizens of Nevada and the visitors of Nevada. So with that in mind, can you answer for me what type of, if you were not to get this license, what business activities would you then go into or continue?
Andrew Januso for the record. Chair Guzman-Freilich, I do apologize. I'm sorry that probably didn't initially come out correctly, but I have been involved in other industries, including real estate, sales, hospitality, that are 100% legal businesses. Prior to getting into the entrepreneurial space of Nevada Cannabis, I had worked for MGM Mirage for several years, as well as Hakkasan Group. So I have other opportunities and options to pursue other legal business ventures.
Okay. Any additional questions, follow-up comments from the board?
Member Merritt, for the record,
Yes, Member Merritt.
I would like to hear him address the rest of the question around the cannabis businesses. He just told us what industries he was involved in legally before this one, which don't exactly answer the question that was asked about the industries that he may or may not go back to or continue to run. Could you elaborate more, please?
Andrew Janusa for the record. Member Merritt, I've been out of technically it was the hemp industry, first time since 2022. And then, we had a couple hemp derived products on the mushroom website that we took down in 2024. So there is no other involvement in any other cannabis businesses. I think the only one that really has been in question the past year is the Amanita muscaria mushroom website, which on a bigger scope sells all types of functional mushrooms. Some of them you could buy off Amazon or even at a health food store. So there aren't any other cannabis businesses besides that one, or the Limo Joint, I guess technically counted as one.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion.
Member Berry, I'll start it off. I move to accept the Limo Joint LLC independent consumption conditional license with conditions attached to further review of existing businesses.
And would you accept a friendly amendment that
Yes.
that within 2 years or at the 2-year mark, if we could get a report from staff, such as the one that we get in our investigative report, or just an addendum or a follow-up with regard to Mr. Janusa's business activities in the 2 years? Because I know with the consumption lounge, we get extension requests all the time. So they may not be up in 1 year. I think more like 2 years. I mean, if you do, that's awesome. That would be great. But I just want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt that if it's not done within 1 year, then within the 2-year mark, or upon completion, get a report back to staff. That's a long addendum.
Yeah, I was going to say all that, but okay.
Okay, we have a first with an amendment. Do we have a second?
I can.
Member Dura, did you second that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Oppose? Member
Okay,
Merritt, for the record?
Thank you. Member Merritt opposes. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. And
Thank you.
we'll be looking at an addendum to the investigation. Okay, good
Thank you.
luck. Thank
Very
you.
much.
Okay, with that, we're going to go on to item number 4. This is the consideration of license agreements. We have one item under that. Do we have a summary?
Yes, ma'am. Chair Guzman Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I am David Staley. I'm here to present agenda item number 4, which consists of one management services agreement, or MSA. Item A is a management services agreement between Indoor Garden Farms LLC and Sunday Co. LLC. The companies have submitted a transfer of interest application requesting approval for Sunday to acquire Indoor Gardens, Carson City, Nevada cultivation and production licenses. This MSA gives Sunday an opportunity to participate in Indoor Gardens operations with board approval until the requested TOI has been approved. CCB staff have reviewed the agreement and found the relationship between the parties appropriate. No areas of concern were identified with this investigation. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Mina Mafua, Ricky DiCarlo, and Matt Price are present today to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman-Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you, Chief Staley. Yes, we do have a couple of members here. They're approaching the table. If you could just state your name for the record and give us any affirmative presentation that you might have.
Hi, my name is Matt Price with Sunday Co.
And my name is Mina Mafua with Indoor Garden Farms.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You have an affirmative presentation for us?
We did not do a presentation.
Okay.
Ma'am, I dropped the ball there.
No, that's okay. Hey, we have a long agenda today, so that's okay. But I also understand you have a transfer of interest that'll be coming in the future. But for now, it's just the management agreement.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. Yep. Great. And do we have any other members joining by Zoom or down in the south?
No, we don't. Ricky DiCarlo is not available on Zoom, so
Okay.
I'm representing.
Great. Well, thank you and welcome. Thank you. Do we have any questions from the board members? Pretty straightforward agreement. Doesn't look like we have any questions, comments, concerns. How about with you guys?
I'm good.
This is great. Okay.
Fantastic.
Well, good. With that, then I'll bring it back to the board and I'll take a motion.
Member Barry, I move to approve agenda item 4, management services agreement allowing Sunday Company LLC to exercise operational control over indoor garden farms consumption and production license number C188 and P124 under the terms and conditions of the signed agreement presented. Approval is contingent on the parties returning for a status check in 12 months. The TOI between the parties has not been completed.
We have a
Member
second.
Mazzarana, second set.
Great, thank you. We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
See you. We'll see
Excited.
you soon. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Take care. Okay, well, with that, we'll go on to item 5. These are the requests for transfers of interest, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items under that. So we'll begin with item A.
Chair
Chief Staley?
Guzman-Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I'm David Staley. I'm here to present agenda item number 5, which consists of 7 transfers of interest or TOI applications. Item A is a TOI application by Premium Produce LLC. TOI number 2400003 was filed requesting approval for internal transfers of Premium Produce ownership. If approved, Steven Silverman will transfer his 2% membership to Priscilla Vilchis, resulting in Vilchis increasing her Premium Produce membership to 71%. Premium Produce has also requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit Premium Produce's 5.112 waiver to expire at its next TOI agenda date. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. I am available for any questions, and my understanding that Amanda Connor and Priscilla Vilchis are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman-Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And welcome. And Ms. Vilchis, I understand you were the first ever minority female CEO awarded medical and adult use license in Nevada. So
Thank you. Yes.
that's great to see and welcome back. And do you or Ms. Connor have an affirmative presentation? It doesn't look like there's any areas of concern, and you're just basically taking over Mr. Silverman's 2% interest.
That is correct.
Yeah, Amanda Connor for the record. Good morning. We always like the ones where there's no areas of concern. Correct. We just would like to thank staff for their time and effort on investigating this and bringing it forward to you. Ms. Filches, as you mentioned, was the first minority female to have medical and adult use in the state. She runs a great cultivation production business, and we're excited to move this forward.
Eat. Well, with that, any questions or comments or concerns from staff, from board members? Hearing none, then I'm prepared to hear a vote or hear a motion.
Member Mazzarano moves to approve agenda item 5A, TOI number 24-3, the internal restructuring of Premium Produce LLC, which owns entity numbers CO33 and PO38. Subject to the condition that the waiver of NCCR 5.110 would expire on the next agenda date.
Member Berry, second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Very much.
Congratulations. Okay. Item B, Chief Staley.
Chair Guzman, Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I'm David Staley. Item B is TOI application by DEP Nevada, Inc. TOI number 2400010 was filed requesting approval for DEP subsidiary Nevada Medical Group LLC to sell its cultivation, production, and distribution licenses to Fox Farms LLC. Fox Farms owner, Ivan Fox, currently serves as Director of Operations for Nevada Medical Group, and this transaction will allow him to completely take over Nevada Medical Group operations. Fox Farms has also requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit Fox Farms 5.112 waiver to expire on its next TOI agenda date. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Alicia Ashcraft, Ivan Fox, and Trip Hoffman are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. You know the routine.
I do, and I'll keep the ball rolling on the agenda today. Good morning, Chair Guzman Freilich, members of the board, Alicia Ashcraft of the law firm of Ashcraft and Barr. I'm here on behalf of the buyer, Fox Farms. With me is Ivan Fox, who goes by Alex, who's happy to answer any questions you have. If time permits, he has one slide to show you for an affirmative presentation. Before I turn it over to Trip to introduce himself on behalf of the seller, I just want to, of course, thank the CCB investigator, Maggie Adams, who is a consummate professional. This item was the very definition of kind of changing horses midstream. There was a different buyer, and then we switched over to Fox Farms, and Ms. Adams, as always, was accommodating, but still completed the thorough investigation very expeditiously. So we are grateful to her for her efforts. And then I'll turn it over to Trip.
Thanks. And my name is Trip Hoffman. I'm, for the record, I'm the president of DEP Nevada, the seller, and I've worked closely with Alex for a long time. So I'm happy to be able to transfer to someone I trust.
Good morning, Ivan Fox for the record. If I can show this slide, please. I just wanted to showcase our brand and products that we've been creating since 2015. We were one of the first cultivation facilities to open up in November 2015. And we have successfully been in Nevada and will remain in Nevada. And I'm here to answer any questions if you have any.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And those definitely are interesting. I was looking at all of these earlier. So you've done a good job with your branding.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? I know this is just a restructuring matter, but any additional comments or questions from you? And if not, then we'll go ahead and go to the board and see if they have any questions. Okay, hearing none. Board members, any questions, concerns, comments? Doesn't look like it. Okay, great. Then I'm prepared to hear a motion.
Member Barry, I move to approve agenda item 5B TY number 24-10, allowing the transfer of entity, SC 144, PO 44, and TO 55 to BAM C 144 LLC, BAM 044 LLC, and BAM TO 55 LLC, newly formed subsidiaries of Fox Formed LLC, subject to the condition that the waiver of NCCR 5110 would expire on the next agenda date. Sounds like you wrote it.
Member Mazarana seconds that.
I have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and go to item C. Chief Staley. Thank you.
Chair Guzman-Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I'm David Staley. Item C is a TOI application by ETW Management Group LLC. TOI number 2400012 was filed requesting approval for ETW's sale of its cultivation license C023 to Synergy Investments LLC, wholly owned by Gilbert Avila III. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. However, 2 areas of interest were identified. The first involves an internal reorganization of ETW intermediary companies without prior board approval by sole member Paul Thomas at the advice of his tax attorney and CPA. The second involves Avila's limited financial resources and his need to source significant additional financing to make CO23 operational. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Adam Fulton, Paul Thomas, and Gilbert Avila are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman-Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Okay, thank you, and welcome, Mr. Fulton, Thomas, and Avila. Do you have an affirmative presentation for us? I understand this is just basically a transfer approval.
My name is Jared Jennings of the law firm of Jennings and Fulton. Adam's actually unavailable today, so I'm stepping in to help out with this.
Oh, great. Thank you.
No, I think we've worked with the investigators and hopefully, I believe, resolved any concerns that they may have. We've got Paul Thomas here. I represent Gilbert Avila, but Paul Thomas is here to answer the questions in the first segment that they discussed with restructuring. But Mr. Avila can answer any questions regarding his resources. I think we don't have a presentation per se. We don't have a slide presentation, unfortunately. I know those are fun, but we have provided all documentation to the examiners and showing that Mr. Avila has resources. He has access to resources. I also think it's important to focus on his resume. He has extensive experience in this industry and really will be able to run a top shelf operation there with the license being granted. So they're available for any questions that you may have.
Okay. I understand there were some transfers that were done without CCB approval. And I think that the more that we keep mentioning these things not to the applicants, but to the licensees, I think pretty soon we'll have an agenda that doesn't have any of these items. But I don't think it rises to the level of concern or referral to the Attorney General's office for an investigation, because basically all it was just for tax purposes. From my understanding is that some holding companies were created in between. Is that correct?
Yeah, I formed a holding company above by ETW management. Yeah.
Okay.
I was still the same sole owner or manager.
Okay. And then just for future, if there's any transfer whatsoever, even if it's within the same partners, within the same structure, you just have to notify CCB.
Yeah, that was our error, and we, working with the investigator, we got that information. I'll have to double check, but I think my gal may have gone back in and reversed it out until we got the TOI in. I just can't say for certain in front of the board today that that's what took place, but we did talk to the investigator. We understood that process. We're in the middle of either getting the TOI in to add that layer that's still just me, or revert it back to the original way it was.
And just remember, Barry, for your, what's your name?
Paul Thomas.
Okay, any additional comments, concerns? Any board member questions?
Member Mazarana, it's mentioned that you had to borrow some money in order to make this go forward, and there was some concern that if the things don't go quickly, that you'll have to repay that money before. How do you plan to address that?
Hi, Gilbert Avila. The money was paid as far as it's a loan for my sister. And so terms were loosely made up as far as once TOI gets approved, then the start date would start from that. So the repayment wouldn't happen for about 2 years.
I understand taking money from family, yes. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Okay, is there a motion?
Member Mazarana motions to approve agenda item 5C TOI number 24-12, transferring entity number CO23, a conditional cultivation license to Synergy Investments LLC.
Member Barry, second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to item D. Chief Staley.
Chair Guzman Freilich, members of the board, for the record, my name is David Staley. Item D are TOI applications by TGIG LLC and Jushi Holdings, Inc. TOIs number 2400047 and 2400064 were filed requesting approval for TGIG to purchase Juicy subsidiary New Leaf VLV Retail Dispensary LLC and its dispensary license D069. The application also requests approval for TGIG to complete internal restructuring, including the inclusion of several revocable trusts in the ownership structure. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. However, an area of interest was identified. TGIG filed an incomplete TOI application related to the replacement of an owner for cause. Since the application was not completed, it did not show up on CCB records and was not assigned to be reviewed. The transfer was discovered during the review of the company's request to purchase dispensary D069. The unapproved TOI was not identified as an area of concern because TGIG had attempted to timely submit a TOI application. The replacement owner had been vetted in previous applications, and the transfer was completed pursuant to the applicable operating agreement. Both TGIG and Jushi have requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit TGIG and Juicy's 5.112 waivers to expire on their next TOI agenda dates. I am available for any questions, and my understanding is that Dimitri Corredes and James Cassiapo.
John Barrick is here from Jushi.
There we are, available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Great, thank you and welcome. If you could just please state your name for the record and to give us any affirmative presentations that you might have.
Good morning, Chair. This is Melissa Waite with the law firm of Dickinson Wright. For the record, here representing Jushi Holdings in this transfer. Jushi does not have an affirmative presentation. I understand Mr. Barak is also on the Zoom call here. Happy to answer any questions you have, and I'll let Dimitri introduce himself.
Good morning, Dimitri Corredes, owner and CEO of TGIG The Grove. No presentation. I've been in the business for 11 years since we began this industry, but I'm here for any questions you may have.
Good morning and thank you and welcome. And thank you for joining us, Mr. Barak. I understand that there was a glitch in the system at first when you first submitted this request for a transfer. Maybe, maybe not, but you're here now, so that's what matters.
I'm here now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, we've got board members. Do you have any questions with regard to this transfer? No questions. That's good. Okay, any additional comments?
Member Dret, I'd just say that thanks to staff for clearing up any confusion, because everything, was a little confusing and now, but you were really explained the situation. So thank you so much.
Okay. With that, then I'll take a motion.
Member Dret, I move to approve the TOI request. For agenda item, I gotta go back to the main page. Agenda item 5D. And that would include approval of the waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 set to expire as to the next agenda item date where the party would appear.
Okay, is there a second?
Member Berry, second.
Second.
We got a couple of seconds. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, we'll go on to item 5E.
Chair Guzman, Freilich, members of the board, for the record, my name is David Staley. Item E is a TOI application by Altmore Debt 1 LLC. TOI number 2400061 was filed requesting approval for Lighthouse Strategies, Inc. to sell its cultivation license C101 to Altmore Debt, resulting in Lighthouse leaving the Nevada cannabis industry. Altmore Debt had loaned funds to Lighthouse in March of 2022. However, Lighthouse defaulted on the loan and was unable to repay Altmore Debt. The parties have agreed that the transfer of C101 will satisfy Lighthouse's debt to Altmore. Altmore has also requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit Altmore's 5.112 waiver to expire in its next TOI agenda date. No areas of concern were identified in connection with this investigation. I am available for any questioning, and my understanding is that Michael Hayford, Marlon Coburn, Wasef Tawachi, Patrick Kim, and Stephen Ham are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Okay, thank you for that. And it looks like we have a presentation, a deck on the screen. If you could please just state for the record your name.
Correct. So Marlon Coburn, president of NVTHCD.
Welcome.
Steve Hahn from Altmore Capital.
Welcome.
Okay, we can go to the first slide.
What do we have going on here?
All right, so we just did a quick slide to discuss who we are for the board. So you can see who the company is. So NVTHCD is a Las Vegas, Nevada-based indoor cannabis cultivation company. We're led by a really highly experienced team, both from California and Nevada. Go to the next slide. So a little bit about the ownership structure. It's backed by Altmore Capital. It's here today. They were the ones that enabled us to form NVTHCD, and NVTHCD is the operators of the facility. Go to the next slide. So a little bit about the facility. It's already obviously previously licensed, and the board has some knowledge about the location. but it's located on 3265 West Post Road. It's an indoor facility with 7 flower rooms. All packaging is done on site. And we're also dedicated to producing top shelf, high quality indoor flower. Go to the next slide. And the last bit is just a little bit about our mission and values as a company. So our mission is to elevate the standard of cannabis through quality, consistency, and responsible cultivation. And our core values are integrity, quality, sustainability, and accountability. Any questions?
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions from board members?
Member Drat, I have a question. So NVTHCD was established in 2024. I don't remember approving this license. Was it a previous license and now just a different name?
Mike Hayford, for the record. That's their legal entity. Silver State Wellness operates.
Got it.
Its license holder. And so Silver State Wellness operates the facility today. Pursuant to this transfer, NVTHCD would then become the license holder and the operator.
Got it. Okay. What does NVTHCD stand for? What does the D stand for? I'm assuming THC is,
THC design.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then last question for Altmore. How successful is Altmore planning on being in the Vegas market or Nevada market? Because the more successful they are, that means the more debt default there is. Can you just share a little more of that picture?
Yeah, Steve Hahn for the record. I'm one of the co-founders of Altmore Capital. We've been investing in the cannabis industry nationwide for the last 8 years. We've invested close to $450 million into the industry so far. Lighthouse was our first foray into the Nevada market. And I think as a result of the kind of restructuring, we are bringing the experts from our other investment in in California called THC Design, bringing all the cultivation expertise as well as the IP that we have grown in California over the last several years. So we're very excited to be here. Just for the performance of our fund, we have been extremely successful. We are partnering up with really capable operators. We're not operators per se ourselves, we're investors, but we are really depending on and teaming up with great operators like Marlon and other operators in the Nevada market to be successful.
That's really interesting because there's not a lot of investment in these, right? There's not a lot of private capital, non-traditional. There's not a lot of investment available. What kind of IP? Not what is your IP, but what kind of IP?
Yeah, so THC Design's brand has been extremely successful. So when it's grown in California primarily, but when we started taking over the operations in Nevada, we were able to test the market with the brand, and it's been extremely successful so far. And I think it will carry a lot of weight moving into the Nevada market.
Okay, so that's the name of the retail product. That's the white label of it. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good questions. Any additional questions? Okay, any additional comments? With that, I'll take a motion.
Member Mazzarana makes a motion to approve agenda item 5E TOI number 24-61, allowing the transfer of entity number C101 to NVTHCD, a subsidiary of Altmore Debt LP, subject to the condition that the waiver of NCCR 5.110 would expire on the next agenda date.
Member Berry, second.
We have a first and a second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Motion carries. Thank you very much. And good luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay, with that, we'll go on to item F. Chief
Chair
Staley.
Guzman Freilich, members of the board, for the record, my name is David Staley. Item F is a TOI application by Taproot Holdings NV LLC. TOI number 2400062 was filed requesting approval for Taproot's sale of its dispensary license RD 673 to M3 Wellness LLC, wholly owned by Laura Langemeyer, as well as some internal restructuring for Mom's Meds Management LLC. Langemeyer also owns and operates Mom's Meds and its cultivation and production licenses. RD 673 is a conditional license located in Hawthorne, Nevada. Both Taproot and M3 have requested waivers of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit Taproot and M3's 5.112 waivers to expire on their next TOI agenda dates. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. I am available for any questions. My understanding is that Shane Terry and Laura Langemeyer are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you could just put your name on the record, and if you have an affirmative presentation, just let us know what it is that's going on, and if we missed anything on the summary, just advise us. And it looks like there's no areas of concern, so this should be an easy transfer.
Chair, Executive Director, and members, my name is Bridget Higgins. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Black & Wadhams. I'm here representing M3 Wellness. With me is Miss Laura Langmeyer. She is the principal owner and sole owner of M3 Wellness, as well as an affiliated entity, which I think Mr. Staley already referenced, which is Mom's Meds. Mom's Meds currently owns and operates a production and cultivation up in Mineral County. The proposed purchase and transfer of the dispensary license is also in Mineral County, which will allow Ms. Langmeyer and her affiliates to go vertical. She's been a license holder since 2017. She's identified a location up in Mineral County and has been diligently working with the governmental authorities up there to get that approved if the license transfer is approved. She's been dedicated to Mineral County this whole time, and I think she just wants to put that on the record. Also with us is Mr. Terry, who is the transferor of the license. So Ms. Langmeyer.
For the record, I'm Laura Langmeyer. I'm the founder and CEO of Mom's Meds Management and M3 Wellness. So like Rich said, this will put us into fully vertical. I've been working closely for probably a year and a half, 2 years since I've met Shane and we started the transfer. They've identified land is right on the 95. So about 2.5 hours from Reno, 5 from Vegas. We're right on the thoroughfare, right next to McDonald's, right next to the gas station. So we've identified land, so we'll be acquiring that and then putting up a dispensary quickly. The town wants it desperately.
Okay, that sounds interesting, and I always love to hear from the rurals too. So, and see how everything's going, not just in the two main metropolises, but just to hear about what's going on out there in our state. So, thank you for being with us. Thank you for making the drive and coming down. And any additional comments, information that you have for us, we're all ears.
Yeah, this is Laura, for the record, Laura Langmeyer. We've been working, like I said, very closely with the commissioners. They've changed hands two times since I've been in the town. Very intimate to their budget restraints, how they want to use the tax dollars. There's a lot of home grows that the sheriff specifically cannot wait to have them surrendered. A lot of high school kids jumping over fences. And actually today we are one of the largest sponsors at the Armed Forces Day. So they'll have a rodeo tonight in Hawthorne. We have a group going out. So, I mean, we're very involved, making a name. We're regularly posting in their paper about education of marijuana, reducing opioids, and just really supporting the town and their revenues. And we're looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Mr. Terry, what say you?
Shane Terry, Taproot for the record, and I have nothing to add. Hopefully a pretty straightforward transition and look forward to seeing what they can do for the local community.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board members?
Member Durrett, I have a question. What are the local gross receipts? What do they call it? Gross receipts fees, basically the local taxes. How much do they charge? Do they take 3%?
Their ordinance, they voted, takes 2%.
Off of gross?
I believe so. I'd have to ask the commissioners exactly, but Larry Grant would know that specifically, but I'm sure I know it's 2% because that was the last negotiation, that there were a lot of town members wanting to know how does the town get the money? And so they've been very diligent about getting all of our business permits, just really identifying and mapping how our presence, we've hired over 20 people there. We look for locals as much as we can before we have to move out to Fernley and Yerington for other support. So I know it's 2%. On what number? I don't know exactly. I think it's gross.
Thanks.
Any additional questions? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion.
I move to approve agenda item 5F TOI number 24-62, allowing the transfer of entity number RD 673 to M3 Wellness LLC, subject to the condition that the waiver of NCCR 5.110 would expire on the next agenda date for Taproot Holdings or M3 Wellness.
Member Mazarana seconds that.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations and good luck. Okay, with that, we're on to our final item under transfers of interest. Thank you for your patience. Chief Staley.
Chair Guzman Freilich, members of the board, for the record, I'm David Staley. Item G are TOI applications by Vireo Growth Inc. and Deep Roots Holdings Inc. TOIs 2400003 and 2400004 were filed requesting approval for Vireo to purchase Deep Roots and all of its licenses, resulting in Deep Roots becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of Vireo. The proposed transaction will be an all-stock consideration with Deep Roots owners trading their ownership for shares of Vireo. Post-acquisition, existing Deep Roots executives will continue to manage and operate current Deep Roots licenses. Vireo is also contemplating similar transactions in Missouri and Utah, where it plans to acquire existing cannabis operations while keeping existing executives to manage their current operations post-acquisition. Vireo has also requested a waiver of NCCR 5.110 pursuant to 5.112 for transfers of less than 5%. Staff suggests that if approved, the board limit Vireo's 5.112 waiver to expire on its next TOI agenda date. No areas of concern were developed in connection with this investigation. However, an area of interest was identified. One of Vireo's existing licenses, MJ Distributing C201 LLC, owes the Nevada Department of Taxation approximately $469,000. On May 7th of 2025, the Nevada Tax Commission approved a payment plan for MJ C201, and the company is considered in good standing with the Nevada Department of Taxation. I'm available for any questions, and my understanding is that Lori Rogich, John Mazarakis, Keith Capurro, and various other executives of both companies are available to address any questions you may have as well. With that, Chair Guzman Freilich, I'll turn this item back to you.
Thank you very much and welcome. We've got a full house. I know we have a lot of things going on, a lot of balls up in the air, but after today, hopefully the dust will settle. So let me know who's all here and who wants to speak, and let us know what's going on.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Is this on?
Good morning. I believe so, yes.
For the record, my name is Lori Rogish. I am outside regulatory counsel for Deep Roots Holdings, Inc., Deep Roots Harvest, Inc., and Deep Roots Aria ACO, Inc. Thank you for allowing us to appear before you in this format. We are very appreciative of the opportunity to engage with the board and are excited to present this matter. With me today in Reno, Las Vegas, and by Zoom are key executives from Deep Roots and Vireo Growth, Inc. I would like to quickly introduce them to you, and I will ask them to raise their hand as I do. Here in Reno is Keith Caporo. Mr. Caporo is a founder of Deep Roots, a member of its board of directors and its president and chief executive officer. Brian Pick is the secretary and chief legal officer for Deep Roots. In Las Vegas, we have John Marshall. Mr. Marshall is the chief operating officer for Deep Roots. Brenda Snell is the chief administrative officer for Deep Roots. Dennis Smith is the treasurer and chief financial officer for Deep Roots. Appearing for the first time before the board, we have Dr. Kyle Kingsley. Dr. Kingsley is a founder of Vireo Growth and its co-executive chairman of the board of directors. Adam Koszelski is the assistant general counsel for Vireo Growth. Also with, also with us by Zoom, and perhaps you can raise your hand still, is John Mazarakis. Mr. Mazarakis is the co-executive chairman of the board of directors and chief executive officer for Vireo Growth. Tyson McDonald is the chief financial officer for Vireo Growth. Madam Chair and the members of the board, it is with great pride to be here with my longtime client, Deep Roots Harvest, and its group of executive officers. Over the past 11 years, the company has built an outstanding reputation and developed top-rate properties, products, and customer services. Its business practices and management expertise have built a legacy of trust. This success is due to our outstanding executive team, board of directors, owners, and employees. On behalf of Deep Roots, thank you, Madam Chair and board members, for your incredible support throughout this journey. We are here today to ask for your approval regarding the merger transaction between Deep Roots and Vireo Growth. The applications before you involve the two licensed companies, Deep Roots Harvest and Deep Roots Aria. Through this merger transaction, these companies will become direct subsidiaries of Deep Roots Holdings, which in turn will become a direct subsidiary of Vireo Growth. As a result, Vireo Growth will become the parent company of Deep Roots Holdings. The merger will combine the strengths of Deep Roots, a company with a distinguished reputation and a history of operational excellence, with Vireo Growth, a company that brings a broad spectrum of expertise and some of the most experienced and respected leaders in the industry and beyond. This merger represents a strategic step forward for both Deep Roots and Vireo Growth, combining financial strength, geographic diversity, and enhanced operational excellence. With your permission, Madam Chair, I would like to present Mr. John Mazarakis, who will begin the presentation on Vireo Growth's history and vision.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Mazarakis.
Mazarakis.
Thank you, Lori.
Sure.
So I'm going to be very brief. I wanted to thank all the members of the board for adding this merger matter to the May agenda. We're very thankful. I want to really apologize for a tax delinquency. That was very embarrassing for me, especially leading Vireo. I was as blindsided as the CCB, and I actually found simultaneously with the CCB that we were delinquent for our taxes. Despite this blindside, though, I'm very enthusiastic with this pending merger. We are thrilled to have Deep Roots as an amazing partner. Their leadership, led by Keith, Brenda, and John, is impeccable. Their track record speaks for itself. And we are certain that we're partnering with a market-leading firm that will just make us better in the years to come. We are planning no change to the management. In fact, our internal model, we go by the name of HOLO, which stands for House of Local Operators. We want to support the local operators. We want to help them scale. We want to help them realize synergies, both on the operational side and on the capital side. And hopefully together we can command a better valuation in this very tough industry that Deep Roots has excelled in the last 10 years or so. I don't have any more prepared remarks, but I would love to answer any questions. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. And thank you for that introduction. We always advocate for companies, cannabis companies, to hire local counsel, and this is a perfect example of why we do that. So with that, are there any additional comments?
I think we'll have Mr. McDonald speak, please.
Perfect. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll echo John, really appreciate We appreciate the board's consideration here and adding this matter to the May agenda. For my part, I've known the Deep Roots team for about 7 years, worked with them very closely for the past 5 in various capacities as a advisor, consultant, and really watched them be one of a group that I frequently have cited as probably the single best operators that I've encountered in this entire industry. Actually represented them in this transaction and was throughout that process or towards the end of the process was asked by Mr. Mazarakis to join as the CFO. I think that's been something that was very welcome by the Deep Roots team, again, who I've worked with and known for many years. And what made this transaction the most attractive to the team is really the ability to continue doing what they love doing and what they've done incredibly well in terms of serving patients and customers in this market, for a decade. So with that, I'll turn it back to Lori or to the board for any questions.
Thank you.
And I would like to also have Dr. Kingsley speak and introduce himself to you.
Thank you and welcome, Dr. Kingsley.
Thank you. Vice chairs, members of the board, Dr. Kyle Kingsley from Minneapolis, Minnesota, here out of respect and support for the process. I founded Vireo now 11 years ago. So I'm definitely one of the older folks in the space. Just really excited about this merger and appreciative of everybody's time and expertise here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then at this point, Madam Chair, with your permission, I'd like to have the executives from Deep Roots say hello.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Keith Capurro, Chief Executive Officer, Deep Roots, founding partner, board member since 2014 when the entity was formed. I just want everybody to know that, on behalf of a unified board of directors, all 16 of our shareholders, our entire executive team, and an employee base of approximately 385 employees, we're all super excited about this merger. We've explored different opportunities for many years now, and this is hands down in our mind the best opportunity that gives both shareholders and employees long-term growth and stability opportunities. We're excited to be here today, and we're excited about the entire management team staying on and continue to do what we do and have provided to the communities we serve over the last 10 years.
Thank you.
And next, Mr. Pick.
Morning. For the record, Brian Pick, I'm the Chief Legal Officer of Deep Roots Holdings. I'll just be very, very brief, and I'll just kind of echo what everybody said. We're very, very excited from the Deep Roots side for this transaction. I think that both our expertise kind of within the state of Nevada with our operations, how we've operated this for years and years with Lori's guidance on the regulatory side, Keith's leadership as CEO. I've been, before I came in-house, I was corporate counsel and M&A counsel for Deep Roots for about 10 years. So I've been around for a long, long time also. So it's really, really exciting, I think, for the entire group to see kind of the next step and next iteration of Deep Roots here and to have the support of Vireo and their team and their expertise from a public company side. Today, to be able to diversify kind of what we're doing, share our expertise with how we've run, take what they've learned from their company standpoint, and really be able to serve kind of the people here in Nevada. I think it'll be a great transaction for everyone involved.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And Madam Chair, if we can turn to Las Vegas and start with John Marshall, please.
Great. Mr. Marshall.
John Marshall, Chair Freilich and the board, thank you for meeting with us today. Just to echo everybody else's sentiments, we're super proud of what we built and we're looking to continue building, and we feel like this is a really great vehicle to do that. We've started to meet with other operators in the portfolio, and we see the same, operational and business excellence with a dedication to compliance and regulatory process, and just super excited about the opportunity here, and thanks for hearing us out.
Great. Thank you. And I'm not sure who's sitting next to Dr. Kingsley, but if that individual can, if they could start. Next, please. Thank you.
Brenda Snell, Chief Administrative Officer, and I feel like that I've almost
all the words to say have been taken. So, but I'm excited about this opportunity as well. And I believe that it provides real opportunity for long-term, sustained, healthy employment for our staff. And I'm just excited about it. So I think it'll be good.
Thank you.
Dennis Smith, I'm Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer. And I would reiterate exactly what everybody has said. I was first employee with Deep Roots 10 years ago and been able to see it grow and where we're at now. And to be able to meet these folks and some of the other companies that we're joining with, what I like about it, common culture. We're together and it's a very positive customer employee oriented culture, and we're ready to go forward.
Adam Krushelski, Assistant General Counsel for Vireo. And once again, I would echo what everyone on the team has said. I would also just add that I think I was the main point of contact with the CCB investigator, Charlie Blasco, on the TOI matter. And I would just like to extend a sincere appreciation for the level of professionalism and communication that the CCB and the board and Charlie in particular has provided throughout the process. We try our best to respond as fulsome and diligently and quickly as possible. And to see that level of effort reciprocated was a real pleasure to be a part of.
Thank you. We always welcome those comments.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and we are ready for questions.
Okay, great. Well, this is definitely, I can feel the energy all the way around. This is what we like to see. We love to see these types of mergers, and it's always a win-win. So with that, I'll open it up to the board. Any board member questions?
Member Durrett, thank you for being so well prepared. The presentation was, very professional and what we like to see. So thank you so much. And for addressing the tax issue head on. I had questions about that, but I think my questions have been answered. So congratulations to everybody. I'm a little sentimental having been here so long that Deep Roots is now joining the ranks of the publicly traded companies, but I really appreciate the approach to keep it very locally controlled and keep a local presence. I've seen, I'm very much on the outside of these businesses, but I've seen companies not handle the mergers that way and then not be successful because of the disagreement about how things should be handled. And I think it's very important to rely on the local operators. So thank you so much for your approach. Thank you.
Member Merritt, I do not have a question, but I would like to say congratulations and thank you very much for coming to make the presentation to the board very well prepared. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions or comments from board members? Any closing comments?
We just thank you, Madam Chair, and the members of the board for your consideration and support as we begin this exciting journey together. And we would also like to thank Agent Charlie Blasco. This is a complex transaction and his guidance and patience have been invaluable, and we appreciate all he has done. And so thank you.
Great, thank you. And again, thank you all for being here and for presenting and for answering all our questions, and makes things a lot easier when we go to vote on these items. With that, I'll take a motion.
Member Mazzarana moves to approve agenda item 5G, TOI NOS 25-3 and 25-4, allowing the merger and restructuring of Deep Roots Holdings, Inc.'s 22 Nevada licenses with Vireo Growth, Inc.'s 2 Nevada licenses, subject to the condition that the waiver of NCCR 5.110 would expire on the next agenda date.
Member Berry, second.
We have a first, we have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. No opposed. Motion carries. Welcome and good luck. We look forward to seeing your growth and success.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice meeting both of
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you. Okay. That rounds out our transfers of interest, and now we're moving on to the briefing of the chair and the executive director. Before I hand it over to our director, I just want to thank staff. I know this was a big agenda item with some pretty complicated items. Thank you for your hard work. And I really do like, I said it during our non-meeting that I love the new agenda. It's very clear to understand the transactions of what's happening, who's buying who out, who's transferring to whom. I really do like that new template. And then thank you to everyone who's been going to the legislature and dealing with all of those hearings and all the questioning. And I don't envy you, but I'm glad that you're there for us. So with that, I know that Director Hum, you've got some comments on that, or some briefings. So I welcome that.
Excellent. Thank you, Chair. James Hum for the record, and as per the Chair's request during the January 2025 board meeting, again here to provide a legislative update. Please note, tomorrow's a big day in the legislature. Friday, May 16th is the deadline for second committee passage, so we'll know a lot more as to kind of the final few weeks of what is going to get through and what will possibly fail to get voted out of the second house tomorrow. I'll give a general update now. All of the cannabis bills in the Assembly are currently in the Assembly Committee on Ways and Means. So kind of a way that we will actually get a few extra weeks to work on those. So all of the bills that I'll mention right now, at least from the Assembly perspective, those we actually don't have to worry about tomorrow's deadline, as we'll continue to progress there. Start with our bill, as always, AB 76. That, as I mentioned before, is an Assembly Ways and Means. Ideally, we're looking to get a hearing next week on that one. That will be our second hearing on that in the Assembly. Working with industry stakeholders as well as internally to see what adjustments need to be made to that bill. As I've noted before in our briefings, we made a pretty substantive amendment to that originally. That again is posted online, and we're looking to again tune that up as well as hoping to get a hearing next week, ideally early to midweek, and hopefully that bill will continue to progress. The next Assembly bills that are not ours, but also deal with cannabis. The first is AB 149. Again, I'll be brief, but that was the one that dealt with governing certain agreements to share information and maintain agreements with the board, and then would appropriate $3.3 million from the general fund to the Cannabis Policy Institute at UNLV. This bill also passed out of the Assembly Judiciary on April 3rd, and again is sitting in Assembly Ways and Means. AB 203, that was kind of the multi-pronged bill, a lot of different concepts in there, worked with the bill sponsor throughout. He had indicated that he was going to amend it, still working through a lot of that, and that one again as well sits in Assembly Ways and Means. AB 307, this was the 2/3 majority vote, which would actually remove the wholesale excise tax and then bump up the current retail tax from 10% to 14.25%. Again, 2/3 bill. So would require 2/3 of both houses to make it through. That bill again sits in Assembly Ways and Means. AB 308, that is the agent card consolidation bill. That again is the one that would, rather than require single agent cards for each of our different types of licensees, that would be one consolidated agent card and then one fee. So again, that's why that one is kind of sitting in Assembly Ways and Means. And as of current, that would be a $529,000 reduction to our budget. So that again will need to be elevated. That's again why it was elevated to Assembly Ways and Means, with ultimately needing those committees, the money committees, essentially to decide on that one. AB 504, that was the bill that brought forward sort of a method to combat deceptive trade practices. working with the Bureau of Consumer Protection. That was moved to Assembly Ways and Means as the Attorney General said that they would require additional resources to help research and prosecute those, continuing to work with the bill sponsors on that, as well as the Attorney General's office to see kind of what they would need and to clarify what all would be needed on that one to move forward. And again, that one is in the Assembly Ways and Means Committee. A few Senate bills we're also tracking as well. SB 25, that was the one brought forward by the fire marshal. Bill was presented to Assembly Committee on Government Affairs on Tuesday, April 29th, received a work session and passed out of committee on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. So I expect that we'll get a vote in the next day or two if it hasn't already. SB 41, that is Director Hughes's bill over at the Department of Taxation requiring a cannabis tax permit. That hearing was on Tuesday afternoon. We appeared as well on neutral on that bill, continue to work with Director Hughes on that as well as industry to clarify any questions for that. I believe that's scheduled for a work session later today. So again, would expect a vote on that bill and to get out of the committee. SB 157, that's the cannabis lot size testing bill, continuing to work with the bill sponsor on that. As well as both license types on both sides. Again, I believe there's probably a compromise to be found in there on those lot sizes. We'll continue those conversations probably vigorously in the next 2 days, as again, tomorrow is the deadline. SB 168, that was the one that requires the board to promulgate regulations on pesticide use, and that we appeared in neutral on Monday, worked with this bill sponsor to get the language in a good spot. So again, a lot of these, I won't say issues, but a lot of these things will come to the board. And again, especially on SB 168 with those, since we will develop and design those regulations for the board to vote on, and that will follow that process. A few additional things in there, like checklists for licensees to follow. So we have a lot of those on our website already. So we are confident that that won't be an issue, and maybe just an update to a few of those, but that won't by any means be a heavy lift for that because we already do it. So that's SB 168. SB 309 really deals with DUIs and marijuana, so that won't really impact the board very much. And again, we're continuing to look at the hemp issue that was brought forward actually by Lori Rogish, Senator Rogish in her official capacity. So potentially looking to do a study through the Cannabis Advisory Commission on that, as well as potentially shifts in taxation, because I know those conversations are being held at not only at a national level, but certainly have been brought to myself and our team's attention throughout session. They've been hot topics throughout session. Again, lastly, on the legislative front, budget was approved and closed. No issues there. And so we are good to move forward. Before I move on to my other items, I will open it back up to the board if they have any questions on any of the particular bills.
Perry?
Yeah, please.
Not a question, Bill. Did you ask for an increase in staff for under your budget for this upcoming session?
We did not. Excellent question. Thank you, General Barry. We did not actually. We asked for a few reclassifications. Actually, just one reclassification to assist Kara's team, and that was, excuse me, for a data analyst, basically to help us using this individual to help perform additional data analysis that the industry has asked for. And in this particular case, I believe we're appropriately staffed in all areas. Again, that's kind of shifting resources. We had an open position, so moving that to kind of where need was. And then unfortunately for Mr. Staley, we cut 2 positions in his enforcement unit. But we are not concerned with that because we actually had 3 current open positions that we are going to be looking to fill as soon as the legislative session is over. And we believe that that will be enough. That will be sufficient for us to cover Chief Staley's enforcement piece.
I just, as I learn more, I see the complexities of what you're required to do each and every day. And the more I learn and go and do the visits and talk to different staff. And I would give Amber a raise, but
I thank you for those comments, General Barry. I would not just give Amber a raise, I'd give everybody a raise. But that is not up to me, and I truly appreciate those comments. We actually keep a pretty lean and mean staff here at the I don't want to say we're mean. I promise you we're not mean. But we keep a pretty lean staff here, and I am consistently just amazed always how much work we're able to produce. Two members of Chief Staley's team were mentioned a couple times throughout the process today, and just truly amazed at what we're able to accomplish with the staff that we currently have. So I think we're comfortably staffed right now. That could change again as more consumption lounges come on. But as I mentioned in our budget hearing, we consistently ask our people to do more, and they always rise to the challenge. So I am just blessed to be part of such an incredible team.
And thank you for your leadership. And, they don't always have to mention the appreciation for the staff and the collaborations and working together and the thoroughness, how you guys get it done day after day, and just how the industry just changes on a regular basis. So kudos to your team and your leadership.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I assure you it's a team effort. We're all in it together. Thank you. Any other questions before I move on?
No questions here.
Excellent. So two firsts today, at least since I've been here. We have a visual aid. So we got the poster here. So I will bring this up. I think hopefully we can see that. And so I had mentioned last board meeting that we were working on PSAs. And for that reason, again, we were still working through some contractual obligations. So we did not know if we would have this up in time before this board meeting, but I'm happy to report that we have this up now. So the CCB is proud to announce its first buy legal billboard campaign in Las Vegas. Again, times have changed, General Barry, I'm sure. For those joining us in the South, you likely passed one of our 17 digital advertisements this morning. The CCB is committed to educating consumers about the benefits of buying from licensed cannabis establishments. So again, while this isn't the final step in addressing the illicit market, we are aware of that. We certainly believe it is an impactful step forward. So again, we also know it's not always, the most amazing thing to go to a government website. But what we're trying to do here is drive people to our website to also encourage them to look for where you can buy legal. Another quick reminder, delivery to the strip is not legal. So if you get something delivered directly to you on the strip, that is not legal. So we're working on another concept on that as well, since these will run through the end of June.
Will they be statewide or just Southern Nevada?
Pilot program. So we're starting in Southern Nevada. We do have a very limited budget. So again, thank you to the staff, Sarah and Tyler specifically, as they were able to move mountains to get this done, as well as get us a very good deal on this initial run. So we will try to, again, spread that marketing budget out, if you will. But this is kind of the first step in that. So if you will, online, if you probably can't see my visual aid. So if you can go, if we're driving you to the website, and thank you, Sarah. If you go to our website right at the very beginning, you can click on legal cannabis. And so Sarah, if you'd please do that for me. So this in turn will take you to a full list of licensees, dispensaries that are available and licensed by us as well. So if you kind of scroll down, you can see all of our available licensees. Sarah, if you please scroll back up and show them one of the maps, that would be great. So then they can click on an interactive map. And then you can kind of see the cluster, as you would imagine, clustered very much so in the north and south. But again, our friends in the rurals are also will also be on there. And then Sarah, if you would please as well, click on one of the hyperlinks directly to show that you can go directly to one of the dispensaries, find the location, their products, and go from there. And then know that if this is generated from us, it's safe, tested, seed to sale, and these are the products that they have. Secondly, Sarah, if you want to pull up the billboard image, so don't gamble on safety, buy legal cannabis, and then again, our typically straightforward and checklist heavy website, ccd.nv.gov. But in this case, we want people to go there so they can find where they can buy their legal cannabis. Again, thanks to the staff. It was inspired by a billboard from the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I surprisingly have never seen. So I think I have some weekend homework. But outside of that, in this one, it's Don't Gamble on Safety, Buy Legal Cannabis. Thank you for that, Sarah. And if you want to go to the locations, that would be great. So again, spread out 17 different locations throughout the Las Vegas Valley. Main billboard locations: State Line near Sloan, around the airport, Las Vegas Boulevard in the resort corridor, downtown, I-15, 215, and 95, reaching tourists and locals. And again, I think just given the end of our budgetary cycle, it was not fully intentional, but in this particular case, it worked out very well because we're going to have a busy EDC weekend. So we just want to really drive people to our licensed legal tested cannabis dispensaries. Again, there will be more to come. Not anything specific. Like I said, only one additional concept that we are working through on the delivery piece. So again, that is where we're at on that. And if there's any additional questions, I just have one more comment, but happy to answer any additional questions.
I just have a question with regard to, are we going to have any kind of a tracking system to see if those, if the billboards are working? So if, for the clicks, where the clicks are coming from?
Yes, Chair. So I've actually asked the team to do week by week comparisons from the previous week, basically just on our clicks. I think it would be hard to determine actual sales, but from a direct click standpoint, we can monitor that on our website. So that was kind of the plan with the team. And if it works, fantastic. And if it doesn't, we'll pivot as we always do. And then again, I think this would be a great discussion item for the board. I know we're not on future topics, but I think that would be a great item for the board to discuss. Again, we partnered with Department of Transportation and Public Safety on social media campaigns. Those are very cheap too. From a budget standpoint, again, with our budget confinements. So that we will continue to do no matter what. They've been fantastic working together with, but I think, again, that's something great for us to discuss as a board, not including myself and our amazing board, but for us to discuss as well, for the board members to kind of key us in and other things that we'd like to see and see if we can work that into the budget for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Any additional questions? Excellent. So history here with the visual aid, but we also made history today. We got our first social equity consumption lounge approved. Chair, you mentioned with our last TOI, the energy in the room. And I just must say that the energy in the room was pretty exciting down here in Las Vegas. I just extremely excited for the prospect of those two incredible and impressive presenters. Again, the energy was off the charts, and I cannot wait to see what comes next with them. And again, we will be here to help them get to final licensure. Want to thank specifically David Vale, who they called out for his incredible work there. And I know that as this transitions over to our health and safety team, we will continue to provide that incredible service. Also, thank you to Charlie Blasco, who also was mentioned today. We truly, back to my previous comments, this is a team effort, and we're truly excited to continue this and work with industry, but also do it always with a lean towards public health and safety. So with that, Chair, with my thank yous concluded, that was all I had today for the board.
Awesome. All right, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, next meeting is June 18th, 2025. Not sure, I won't be here in taxation in the north, correct? We still have one other meeting here, or we have a couple meetings here?
Yes, that is correct, Chair. And also please note the 18th will be a Wednesday, as the holiday is Juneteenth. This is
Right.
Thursday.
So Wednesday, right, change in meeting date, okay. Items for future agendas. Okay, then after that, we have our public comment, our second public comment. Do we have any comment in the south?
We do not, Chair.
We have no public comment in the north. Is there any public comment online?
There's no one online to provide comment.
Okay, and with that, we adjourn our May meeting. Woo. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful